Welcome to Client Intake Made Simple. This video will show how we can add a client to our Coordinated Entry System, or HMIS, in just a few minutes. From the Coordinated Entry screen, we'll select the Intake module. We've already done a search on this client and they are not currently in HMIS, so we'll select the New Client button. We start by getting consent from the client to share this information so that they can be part of the Coordinated Entry System. We'll wait to get a signature later on. Now we'll get a picture of the client, take that picture and use that. Lighting's not too good, but we'll, for demonstration sake, we'll continue. Now we'll get the contact information, starting with the client's last name. We can use the speaker device to talk into the smartphone, and we say Smith, and then we move on to first name, and we'll record Tom. Don't need a middle name. We'll go ahead and type in the phone number. We'll get an emergency number. There is none. We can type in an email. We'll record the city of Atlanta. Zip code may be important, 30030. We continue adding information about the client, contact information. We'll get the location of this interview by just simply taking the GPS from the photo or the device itself. And outreach workers also required to note the date of the contact as well as the location. If we make a referral, we can enter the referral date and time as well. And then we'll add any additional notes that will help us follow up with the client. The next step would be to enter the system actually into the HMIS system, the Homeless Management Information System, and that will require some additional information beyond the contact information that we've already taken. Since Tom Smith is already in the database, we can add a social security number and in this case, just the last 4 digits will suffice. We want the client's demographic information, the date of birth, gender is male, he is a veteran, race, Asian, ethnicity, the client doesn't actually know. And the prior residence is emergency shelter, prior length of stay. This information is helpful to see if this client qualifies as chronically homeless, so we can prioritize for permanent housing. He's been homeless 3 times. He's been homeless for more than 10 months. And we say that this client is chronically homeless and has a disabling condition. This client's by himself, and so he's the head of household. And that concludes the HMIS profile. From there, the HMIS profile added with the contact information, we can complete the client's profile. We need the client's profile in order to match this client with the most appropriate services. The only thing we really need to do at this point, since we've collected the information in the other 2 steps, is to add the client's actual need. And in this case, in order to qualify for permanent supportive housing, he needs to have a full assessment. So we select full assessment as the need in this particular case. They will not have a score from this assessment since they haven't had it yet, but the score will be used later on to prioritize that client for permanent housing. So that concludes the client intake portion of coordinated entry.